Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing my head-to-head shave, one side with the King C Gillette safety razor, one side with the Heritage. Going to do a comparison. I am a little pressed for time this morning, so if I seem like I have more enthusiasm than normal, it's fake. So what I'm going to do for both, I'm going to use a brand new Nasset blade for each of them, and the reason that I'm doing that rather than using the King C Gillette blades that come along with them is I'm very familiar with the Nasset blades. I know what to expect, and I will be doing some testing in the coming week of the King C Gillette blades versus the Platinums. If they seem like they're right on par with each other, I think that'll be a little bit of what my theory was, but I can try them against several other of the Gillette blades. I have the Silver Blues, the 7 o'clocks, the Platinums, the Nassets. They're not in a comparable category as the Kais just because of blade thickness. And so I'm already getting started loading these razors up. I'm going to be using the Nivea sensitive shaving cream today because I don't want to waste any time on lathering if I don't have to. And kind of just need to see how they feel. Let's see, I'll be using my, so this is the shave cream, the Nivea Men Sensitive Shaving Cream. I'm going to be using my Craving Shaving brush with the Crave Knot. And let's see here. Also, something I thought about, because one of the big differences between these two razors is that the weight is, the overall feel is very different. So a lot of complaints that I heard about the Heritage was that with this short handle, even though the knurling's nice and it's made in the USA, the handle, excuse me, it was very head heavy. So I wonder if that's not why they did the little channel here along the bottom and put a 4-inch handle on this one, because this is much more well balanced. And I suspect that might affect the feel on the face. So for the second pass, I'm going to be using these two stainless steel halo handles from Razor Rock to just see if, when those variables are taken out of the equation, if they still function at the same capacity or different. Let's see. So Heritage versus King C Gillette. The first two Gillette offerings in the safety razor market since 1988. So it's exciting, but let's go ahead and get mixing some stuff together here. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about is, and the things that I'm getting asked the most since I posted stuff yesterday, is about, is it worth the $30? Now, I'm assuming that when people are asking that, they're probably asking about performance. So if it performs exactly on par with the Heritage, then really what you're talking about there is the difference. Is there a difference between that $5 difference between getting it on Amazon and it coming with that case, or getting it in your local store without having to do any online purchasing? So there's some variables there, because you could argue either way. I'm going to skip my mustache today because I have a lovely little pimple right under my nose that's going to cause problems. Now, I've watched back a couple of my videos and I've talked to a couple friends about the noises that come from my nose. My nose has been broken several times, and I have a pretty crooked nose. It's pretty obvious. But until I can get corrective surgery to straighten out my deviated septum, unfortunately, the best I'm gonna have to, I might have to start like muting these areas where I close my mouth and breathe through my nose. All right. So, where do I start first? So, I'll go ahead and start with the new King C Gillette. I haven't used the Heritage in a couple of months anyway, so they're both going to feel pretty new, I believe. Okay, that feels pretty good. I was a little worried that the handle would be slippery, because this is really not knurling. You can feel the grooves, but it's not something where if your hands were soapy, you're gonna be able to catch it on that little barber pole like twist there. Oh, let's get that hot. It sounds like it's doing more work. Just there's more audible feedback here. Weird. Because it was much more audible feedback out of the Heritage, but it does feel like the tiniest bit of more stubble right here. But I'm right-handed and I know how to get that side well, and I don't know, it's only right in this area where it feels like there's a difference. I'm just checking alignment to make sure. That's something I didn't check. See if there's any difference there. They both look perfectly aligned. I'm gonna go ahead and do my second lathering here. And it doesn't seem like, there seem to be a couple of like there is a difference in balance. So in hand, the King C Gillette off the bat felt better to me because it just felt less head heavy. Excuse me. But it was really strange. It was so much louder, so much more audible feedback. Now, I don't know what that has to do with the manufacturing of it, seeing as how the handle on the Heritage is USA made, according to Gillette. And so I don't know if they're using a specific type of metal, but it's pretty well known that the Chinese manufacturing is using pot metal, or some people call it Zamek. And that's got a lot of zinc in it, whereas it's US practices to sell off as much of that as possible. So I don't know if there's, and they don't, I've never seen it said what was used specifically for the USA made handle, but it's, we sell any scrap zinc we have, we sell that to China. Excuse me. Now, so one of the things I want to talk about for anybody who's interested, the overhang is exactly the same on both. So if you have one, I measured the heads. They're exactly the same in every capacity as far as a top-down view. Same width, same length, and see if I can line them up. The top cap, oh, sorry, lined them up for me. The reason I did the video yesterday where I put them both on screen was so that I didn't have to worry about fighting the focus on my camera today. So they're exactly the same. So the blade overhang feels exactly the same. I'm going to go ahead and switch out for the handles from Razor Rock to see if that adjusts any of that audible feedback and any of the balance that I felt the first time around. So I'm putting the chrome one on the Heritage, and this one has the DLC coating. And I'll put that on the King C Gillette. Sorry for sliding out of frame. And then, so King C Gillette going back on this side again. So this will be the performance of the head, measured only. The feel is now different. It's now handle heavy. It was more balanced overall with the original handle and head combination. It's very smooth. I'm looking at DFS right here. Yeah. So Now that they're weighing, they're going to weigh pretty much identical. Let's give this one a shot. Just want to make sure that's not dried up. Now, audio feedback is reduced with the stainless handle. Just the volume of it. Wonder if there's a percentage of aluminum in that USA made handle. Well, I can say this without hesitation. They're both extremely functional razors. I don't... With the handles being exactly the same, I don't feel a difference between them at all in performance. It's a DFS everywhere, and I'm not going to chase under here. I don't know, it's kind of as I suspected. I don't think that the head is probably made from, I don't know. I think the King C Gillette balances better in hand off the bat because of the longer handle. A lot of people, that's a 4-inch handle, and a lot of people just absolutely aren't interested. Now, performance feels identical to me. I got 2-pass DFS here, and I don't feel like I need to chase it at all. It was very efficient. I have extremely coarse facial hair. So, set these blades aside. I'm going to do my post-shave off camera because I don't need to waste your time, but I'll be using Quinn's Cucumber Mint Witch Hazel and Nivea Men's Sensitive Post-Shave Balm. Now, I have zero irritation. Sorry, I had a little pop-up. I don't know if that continued recording me through that or if it paused. But I have zero irritation anywhere. That's nothing to be upset with. A 2-pass DFS shave with $30 razors. I think what you're going to come down to ultimately, 2 factors. Do you like longer or shorter handles if you're deciding between the two? Because if 3 inches is too short for you and you don't like it, the other one's going to perform better, plain and simple. If if the case that the Heritage comes in is something that you think is worth getting for $5 extra, then maybe you need to look at that purchase from Amazon. Last I checked, they said there were some coming back in stock, and it appeared you could order it. So is it worth $30? Absolutely. I think they're both worth what they're charging for. Now, one of the caveats that I wanted to throw in there, and this is not because I want to promote anybody else or anything like that. It's just I've said it, and I feel like it's something that should be noted. For one of the aspects here is a lot of people I hear complaining, well, this is a Chinese-made product. That's not what we want from Gillette. And I totally understand that. And when you look at what's available in the price range, RazoRock has the MJ90, which is based on the DE89, and it's meant to be a more aggressive head, but it's totally CNC machined. It's an aluminum head that's anodized. Comes with this stainless handle. And that's $29.99, comes with a tuck of Derby extras. Now, what the difference there is, you can't roll down to your local Walgreens and pick up a RazoRock. You're going to be looking at shipping. It's not going to be the kind of thing that you can recommend to a family member. And I think that people at companies like Gillette or Procter & Gamble, they know that. They know that there's a certain market that's going to be aware of the RazoRock products. So, you know, if I was recommending personally to a friend, I might not, you know, to somebody, what's the best way to get started and be the most satisfied with your $30? I probably wouldn't recommend this over that purchase. But the fact that something like this exists for us to go out and get at a Walgreens or from Amazon, and you can direct almost anybody to it, I think that's incredibly valuable. One of the things that I have pointed out repeatedly is that I want to support this hobby of wet shaving as much as possible. So if a product like this comes out and I can show that there's a market, you know, I hope that every little market that they sent one of these to, it gets sucked up so that the people at Procter & Gamble can see that, wow, we sent out all these things. The safety razors are the things that are going, the safety razors and the razor blades, because they've inundated us with cartridges, and all of us in this community are fed up with that. So I guess the accessibility is that convenience factor where you can feel comfortable paying a little bit more, that you can go, in my instance, 8 blocks down the street. So that's the big things that I wanted to talk about with it. Is it worth it? Yes. My one, the only thing that I could say that I really don't like is the rounded bottom to this. This looks a little funny to me, and so if you don't have a stand that holds it by the head up in the air, there's some place to set it aside. I don't see it sitting well in a stand. I tried it in the Rockwell stand, the Icon stand. I have a couple RazoRock stands, and it's because of that rounded bottom, it just kind of rotates around the edge, and I feel like you're going to work the chrome off at the where it meets up. I can give you an example here. So, and it just spins around there because it's at least a couple millimeters too thin for this. I would say this is at max an 11, 12 millimeter, and this is a 14. Most of these are set for 14. Kind of an industry standard, like 13.5 for like the RazoRocks and stuff. So, that's everything I have to say. It's 24 minutes, which is longer than I wanted to go, but hopefully that answers any questions you might have. If you do have any questions, please comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you've seen. I'm going to continue to be doing some testing with the King C Gillette blades. I just wanted to make sure that I was using as few variables today as possible. All the stuff that I used, I'm super comfortable with, except for these. And in a head-to-head scenario, I think that's very important. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope everybody stays safe out there and take care of yourselves.